I'm just going to shut Facebook so we don't get any echo. Okay. Hello. Good morning. It's Linda Emsley here, and I have the beautiful Brigid Holder joining me. Hello, Brigid. Welcome.
Good morning, Linda.
I see you're wearing your leopard print feather earrings this morning.
Yeah, I love them.
I
was just fixing it because it flaps around the wrong way and it doesn't look as attractive that way.
Yeah. They're awesome. So thank you so much for joining me this morning. We're going to talk again about the book that's coming out shortly, The Unconventional Look at Motherhood, with a beautiful F-bomb title that Facebook doesn't like us to say. I reckon we should call it Duck Motherhood. What do you reckon?
Duck Motherhood. Actually, it's been interesting. I've been messaging some experts lately, and the responses from them varied from laugh out loud, love the title, to that title is totally inappropriate. I do not swear. Please do not message me ever again.
Wow.
It's the one extreme to the other. And I think that's the thing, is you either love it or you hate it, which my mother hates it. But I think it's appropriate at the right time. And, you know, we haven't actually spelt the word out on the front cover. And who's that guy that had that whole series of F books?
Yeah.
I can't remember
the art of not giving a fuck. Yeah.
And then he's got another one. He's got two others that have come out since. And it's like, you know, they went bestsellers, you know, worldwide. And I think that in the right context, it's great to use it at the right space. But, you know, I think that some people misinterpret what it means. Do you agree?
I think so. Yeah, I think that because it's a really confrontational title and it does make you stop. And I do believe that there would be some people who are going, that actually means it's really bad to be a mum, and these people are against parenting and bringing children into the world and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas in actual fact, it's actually epitomising that point that every mother does reach, regardless of how well they're managing. There is some point in your time as being a mum where you just go, what the fuck? Don't you? You do.
Exactly. It's so true. And
once. It probably happens.
I think that it's already doing what I wanted it to do, which was disrupt and make people think about motherhood. And, you know, like I did a post yesterday in regards to what would you tell the woman that was pregnant, and tell her as if you were yourself when you were pregnant. And that took me back to before I was pregnant, because I actually wasn't ready to be a parent. And I had discussions with my husband, and because he's 8 years older than me, he really wanted to start when we did. And I totally got that. And together we decided that that's when we would start. And I still wasn't ready. When the baby popped out, I wasn't ready. And then, you know, I didn't have the tools that I know now. And I think that's the whole thing, is that people don't understand what's available to them to help them. And if we can share our wisdom through an unconventional motherhood book, then there's ideas and different ways to do things that mothers can, you know, pick and choose from, and not be told how to be a mother. There was somebody who wrote on that post that do it your own way and don't listen to the 1,000 gazillion pieces of advice you're going to get given. Just do it your own way. And I think that's the thing that I never did. When, you know, for the first 10 years, I was like, oh, well, I have to do this because that's what society says I have to do, or my mum did that, so I have to do that, or, you know, whatever it was. And I think that that's the whole idea behind the book, is to give women this opportunity that they can do it differently.
Yeah. And, you know, I was just thinking what you were saying about, you know, thinking back. When I think back to my first baby, you know, I really wanted her. I was ready. I wanted to be a mum. And even though I really, really wanted that, and I did all the reading and all of that, I wasn't ready. You know, this baby appeared in my arms, and I was just like, oh, my God, now what do I do? Apart from the fact, you know, recovering from birth and all that sort of stuff. But, yeah, I didn't cope. It was hard. It's like there is nothing that can prepare you, like, for the emotions that come up, but the reality of having this completely helpless thing 100% reliant on you 24/7. There's nothing that prepares you for that.
Yeah, I think I felt like I was selfish because I didn't want to spend all my time with the baby, and because society says when you become a mum, that's your job now. You have to give everything over to this child, and I felt so much guilt and judgment, and whether people were judging me or not, I felt it, and I think that not asking for help was the biggest downfall, and I hope that this book allows women the opportunity to reach out to others, reach out to us, reach out to the authors in the book to say, I'm drowning here, what's my next step? And I think that that's something that this book is going to offer, whereas other books are all about this is the stages of babyhood, and this is the life that the baby should be living, and this is how you should be acting, and it doesn't talk about how you feel. It doesn't talk about how you might feel when you have a baby. It doesn't, none of that is talked about in the baby books. They're all like a manual. I actually looked up the book that I lived by as my Bible, and it was written by a man. And I was like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, as if he understands what a woman has gone through. I should have picked one that was written by a woman for a start. It was a great book. There was good information in there, but not bagging him out. But a man just cannot fathom what it is like. Your body's gone through so much change, your hormones have changed, and then you've got this human being that needs you 24/7. And when you don't feel that you need them 24/7, it's a conflict that goes on in your mind. And that's when I say
And then you've got guilt on top of that because I actually want to hand this baby over. Just, give me a break. And then, oh my God, I'm wanting to give my baby to somebody else. What's going on there? It's a real minefield. It really is. So I agree. That's part of the reason that I wanted to contribute as well, was that, if there are other women going through a similar experience that I went through, to actually be able to read the signals earlier. If I had read the signals earlier and understood for myself what was happening 5 years earlier or whatever, I would have saved myself so much bloody heartache and, mental stress and just everything. So if sharing what I went through helps somebody else recognize that, oh my goodness, that sounds a bit like what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't actually need to keep going down this path. Maybe I can look at some alternatives. Maybe I do actually have a choice in how my life unfolds here. And it's not this set pathway that I'm expecting, that society's expecting, that my partner's expecting. I can actually stop expecting that this is what my life is and start thinking, what do I actually want my life to be as a mother?
Yeah. And that is so true. That time frame for you, like for me, it was 10 years. And it was actually my mum having a heart attack that made me realize that I was living a lie. Like, I was pretending that I liked motherhood. I was pretending in all these activities I was doing with the kids because that's what society wanted me to do. And, and the kids, I love them to death. Love them more than anything. There's no words that can express how much you love your own children. And it's not something that I wouldn't, I would have chosen to do it anyway. But if I had known some of this stuff earlier, I could have enjoyed it so much more. I look back at it now and I feel sad for Brigid where Brock just turned 15, my eldest just turned 15. I feel sad for Brigid when he was 9 because she was doing all the things that she thought she was supposed to do rather than all the things she wanted to do. And it's really sad to think that I lived that way for 10 years and, thought having another baby might make it better. And he's amazing. And, you learn so many lessons from your children, but it was my mum having the heart attack that was a catalyst for me to look back and go, holy. And I had a bit of a breakdown and, it just changed everything for me then, and started talking to people about how I really felt. And I think that was, because her near-death experience made me think about where I was at, and then started talking to people about how I felt and got it sorted out, and then learn all these tools and techniques. And, now I choose me a lot more. And sometimes I get a bit of rebellion from my children because I have been there all the time for them. And now they're like, well, why aren't you coming to the athletics carnival? I don't want to. I've got something else to do, you know? You don't actually need me there. And, you know, my parents never went to anything at school. They never attended anything. I've barely missed anything. And, you know, I've sacrificed things for myself or time or, you know, or had to stay up late to get my work done or, you know, not that I don't want to be there all the time. It's just having that choice and knowing that it's a choice for me.
Yeah, and I think that's the key, isn't it? There's that shift between I have to do it because that's what mums do to I'd really like to actually do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really subtle difference. And, I think it's a really important difference. It's okay to actually say no occasionally. It's actually okay.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like I honestly thought that I could not say no to them, you know, in terms of being at something that was, you know, important to them. I felt like I could not say no to them. And, you know, I couldn't wait to get back to work. Like I was like, he was 3 months old and I was like celebrating the day I went back to work, but I pretended to cry in the office. I've left him for the first time because I thought that's what everybody wanted to see, you know, like I thought if I say I'm really happy that I've left him there, I'm going to get judged. So I pretended to cry. I had crocodile tears. I just, you know, that's sad that I went in there and did that to please other people rather than pleasing myself and saying, I'm really glad to be back. I don't know what I'm doing with one baby and I can manage 400 people in the field and 15 in the office quite easily. I can't manage one baby. Like I should have admitted it and got the help that I needed to get. And, you know, probably wouldn't have been such a mind fuck for me.
But that's the thing, isn't it? When you're right in the midst of it, you don't realise it.
No.
You know, it's like the frog that gets into the pot of water that's on the stove that's slowly warming, and it's not until you reach boiling point that you realise, oh, shit.
Yeah. I can't
or sugar plum fairy, as my belly dance teacher says. Oh, sugar plum fairy, I need to get out of this pot of water. But it does. It sneaks up on you. And, because there's this this convention almost of secrecy. It's like you don't speak about these things. It's like the really big things in our life that really affect us, like sex, motherhood, money. We don't talk about any of this stuff. We keep deep, dark secrets because there's shame, there's guilt, there's self-loathing, there's all sorts of stuff tied up in it. Whereas if you just bring it to the light and understand that you're not alone. Everybody else has got some similar story. It's not exactly the same, but there's a similar story. And that it's actually okay to feel this way and to get help and to sort yourself out because you deserve to be happy. We're not here on this planet to be miserable. You know, even though a lot of us are working so hard and feeling downtrodden and that's not really why we're here. We're actually here to have some fun and enjoy our life. But so many of us don't.
Yeah, and take a back seat in our own life too. That's what I was doing was taking a back seat in my own life for the joy and betterment of my children and to make me look like I was doing the right thing as a mother. As I thought people wanted me to be as a mother. It's funny when I started talking about this, Linda, is that a lot of people said to me, but you're a great mum. And I was like, yeah, I might be a great mum, but it's not, it doesn't fulfill me at all. Like it gives me nothing. I love my children, but the role of the mother, that gives me nothing. And people couldn't understand that.
Yeah, I really get that. You know, I've had a similar experience of, you know, being a great mum and being seen as being a great mum. But, you know, I think back to a lot of those kids' parties where I was making cakes and doing this and doing that. And there was a lot of pretense. There was a lot of pretending to be having fun at the appropriate moments, but I wasn't actually feeling it. I was just feeling like I've just got to get through this because the kids need it. They want it, you know. It's what you do for a kid's birthday party.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I must admit there's one in particular. I don't remember many of the birthday parties. I look at the photos and it's like as if I wasn't even there.
Yeah.
There was one that I really enjoyed. I think I did it more for myself than I did for the kids. I did a science party for my youngest 5th birthday, and of course we're in a small town. There's preschool and there's 2 rooms in the preschool, and I invited both rooms thinking, half of them will come. So there's 30 children in each room and all of them came. And it was the biggest birthday party. But they all wore these little science lab coats, and we made them all a little badge with their, name on it, and put a silly picture of science, I think we put Professor Blake and Professor whatever their names were. And they pinned that onto their little coats, and we did these science experiments. I enjoyed that party so much, doing those science experiments. I think it must have been something from my youth that I did. I don't remember, but yeah, that was a fun party. But like you said, when I looked at the photos from other birthday parties, I was like, it's like as if I'm not even there. I don't even remember.
Yeah. And they all blur together.
Yeah,
Mind you, I've got 4 kids, so that would probably explain why they all blur together. I've done quite a few birthday parties over the years, so I got practiced at it, but I don't know that I enjoyed any of them. Yeah.
Linda, can you tell me? One of the questions that's come up is how will this benefit me? And I want to know from a personal experience, not for your business, but from a personal experience, how this writing the chapter and contributing to the book and being part of the group has helped you.
Actually, writing the chapter has really allowed me to put to rest some of the last little qualms that I had, and to really be able to have compassion for the person that I was back in that space, to really see this poor young woman really struggling, and totally at a loss as to how best to manage. There were so many moving parts, and she just didn't know how to do it. She really didn't know, and I had so much compassion for that young woman. It's been a really deeply healing experience for myself from that perspective. And because I have a very close relationship with my mum, and because she's an English teacher and she's always checked my writing for me, I asked her to have a look at this, and it was a really healing experience for her as well, to see how much her support during that time meant to me. So that's been a really powerful experience for both of us in sharing, and finally being a little bit real with my own mum, even about just how badly I wasn't coping. Like, she knew. I'd come to her with various stuff and just go, I'm really not coping, and she'd be just like, I don't have the answer, but I'm just here. Say what you need to say, I'm listening, sort of thing. And sometimes the best thing in the world is a mother's hug, isn't it? All you need is just to be held, and just to have somebody say, it's okay. It's okay. And I think that's the feeling that I got from this experience, is it's actually okay. I have compassion for who I was then. I understand why I made the choices I made. I can see where if I just stopped long enough to listen, I could have made a different choice at this particular stage, and to forgive myself rather than beat myself up like I have done previously, of saying, why didn't I make a different choice? Why didn't I see that? If I just changed direction sooner, all this sort of stuff. Yeah. It's all as it's meant to be. And I wouldn't be the person I am now if I hadn't gone through that journey. So for me personally, it's been a beautiful affirmation of my own strength and courage for dealing with it, and a powerful healing process, and a way to have, deep understanding and compassion for who I was then. Yeah.
And now you've given that opportunity to other women. So, that just makes my heart expand, that you feel that way, and that now you've given that opportunity to other women to actually, look at themselves and go, am I behaving this way, and do I need help, and who can I ask for it? So I love that, Linda.
Yeah,
thanks for
because
that.
the amount of pain that I was in physical, mental, emotional, spiritual pain. It was intense. It was incredible. And there was a point in my story where I actually say to my husband, if I don't change, if this doesn't change, I'm going to end up in the mental ward. You're going to be taking kids to see me because I've been sectioned, and I'm surprised when I look back at it that I didn't end up in the mental ward. So, yeah, it was extreme. Yeah. And I started telling you that for some reason. I can't remember what it was.
That's all right. It's lovely to hear snippets of your story anyway for the for those who are going to purchase the book and read your whole story. It's lovely to hear that. Thanks, Linda.
Yeah, that's my pleasure. So I would encourage any of my friends who are listening, if you have a story that you think is, if other women hear it, it might change some of their decisions. I'd really invite you to reach out to Brigid and have a chat to her about what the purpose of the book is and how it works, because, not only has it been a powerful experience for me, the community that sits behind the book is just such a beautiful community. The other authors, we're sharing so much of our experience. We're sharing space in each other's businesses. We're networking. It's just a beautiful space to be with other women who have found their way, have found their path. Basically, they found their path, and they're so generous in how they share their experience and their knowledge. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's so true. We are closing applications next Friday. I don't know what the date is next Friday. What's the date next Friday? The 28th of May. We're closing applications on the 28th of May. So get them in. And we'll put the link in. There is a short video which explains a bit more that we haven't talked about today. So we'll put the link in so you can check out the video. And then if you like, you can apply, and do tell us that Linda sent you our way.
Yeah, lovely. Thanks so much, Brigid.
Thank you, Linda. Have a great day.
See you, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
And I'm just going to find the off button. There it is.